What the R value of insulation means. All insulation sold in the United States must be rated with an R value. The R value of insulation refers to the ability of the insulation to resist heat flow. Insulation that is in rolls, loose fill, rigid foam, or foam in place will have an R value that corresponds with heat flow resistibility. As the numbers of the R value increase, the level of resistance increases. That means that R49 insulation will be much more effective than R38 insulation. R value when layering insulation. The thickness of the insulation is a factor when determining the R value. As the thickness of the material increases, the thermal resistance increases. You can double the R value by installing 2 layers of insulation of the same R value. It's recommended that a home in colder regions should have insulation with an R value of 49, and homes in warmer regions should have insulation with an R value of 38. The R value of pellet and loose fill variants is measured in per square inch and in per inch for fiberglass rolls. For example, you can install blow-in cellulose pellet insulation with a rating of R 3.5 per square inch, or fiberglass rolls with a rating of R 3.2 per inch. The construction of the home may dictate how much insulation you can install. For instance, some areas of the home may only allow you to install 1 layer of insulation, and other areas may allow you to install more. Only install the number of layers the framing of the home will allow you to install. Doubling the insulation in an area that is only intended for 1 layer will not result in a doubling of the R value, but it will be increased. Factors that affect the R value. Some people do not account for the windows, joists, and studs when determining which R value to use. Heat flows around the insulation through the studs and joists, and heat is often lost around the windows. This will create slight differences in the R value of the insulation and the R value of the wall. You should make sure that the insulation is properly installed in these areas and that the insulation is not packed too tightly. Tightly packed insulation will not provide the full R value. Heat loss through glass windows and the ventilation system will also affect the R value of the wall. What to remember when installing insulation. The most important thing to remember when installing insulation is to wear safety equipment. You should wear a dust mask, eye protection, gloves, and long sleeves when working with fiberglass insulation. The fiberglass particles have the capacity to lacerate the eye and will irritate your skin. It can also create tiny cuts in the lungs, triggering an asthma attack, or inflame the delicate tissue if it's inhaled. When installing attic insulation, you should make sure that you don't install over can lights or any other light fixture that's not rated to withstand contact with insulation. Contact of the insulation with inappropriate lights could cause a fire. If you're installing window insulation, you should make sure that you completely fill in the cracks around the windows to prevent heat loss. Make sure that you do not overpack the spaces. If you're going to have a professional handle the job, get several quotes from reliable contractors before you make a decision.